Cubs take opening day over the Padres and end the Friars' winning streak. Shōta Imanaga getting it done, and Pete Crow-Armstrong with some amazing defense. Not a pretty game, but they're all pretty when you put them in the win column. We're going to talk about the Cubs and their opening day win, and all of a sudden now picking up some momentum. First place in the Central Division. You got to love that. And a prospect to keep an eye on that we think could be in the major leagues sooner than later. All right, all that coming up right here on the Cubs Baseball channel. Like, subscribe, thumbs up. Let's get the show started, everyone. And what a great win. Go Cubs. What do you say, everybody? Mick Gillespie, Cubs Baseball channel. Like, subscribe, thumbs up. Thank you for hanging out with us as we talk Cubs and also get in that comment section. Great to hear from all you guys on a daily basis in the comment section. All right. Cubs beat the Padres 3-1 at Wrigley. One of those typical Wrigley April type games with the wind and the conditions. The Cubs walked 7 times. They only got 3 hits, but the Padres made the mistakes and the Cubs didn't. And the Cubs win the game. A couple of things. First off, Shōta Imanaga getting the job done in the start for the Cubs. He just is the exact guy that we hoped he would be. And there were kind of some questions right before spring training ended. I didn't think he was his sharpest in Japan, but he never did falter. He just threw a lot more pitches to get where he wanted to get to. But he picks up his second win. And he's 2-0 now with a 0.98 ERA. Watching him work and just kind of basically, I don't want to say dominate the Padres, but just keep them off balance was really impressive. He makes a ton of pitches. Craig Counsell talked about that in the post game, and he's like, look, he just goes out there, he makes a quality pitch, and then he follows it with another quality pitch, and that's how you do it in baseball, whether you're talking about pitching or games. Great teams make every single day a tough place for the other team to play. Doesn't mean they're always going to win, but you kind of raise the bar. Hey, it's going to take a lot to beat us, and he has been amazing for the Cubs and did it on opening day. So pretty impressive. 7 1/3 innings. I like the fact that Imanaga got the Cubs into the 8th inning. I talked about this on a video yesterday, that if the Cubs are going to win, they're going to have to limit the amount of innings that the bullpen has. It just is. They don't have the Padres bullpen. They got a chance to use their back-end guys today, Porter Hodge, who did really well, and then Kyle Presley came in and finished the game up, got the save. It wasn't easy. They had the tying runs on base and scoring position with 2 outs, but got the big strikeout, and starting to feel those closer juices again. But they worry about the pitch load that these guys are going to have, right? How many pitches is a pitcher going to throw? What is that going to do to the end of the season? I don't think the Cubs need to worry about that. They've got so much depth in their starting pitching. And we're going to talk about a guy that could be coming into that rotation sometime soon in Cade Horton, who's in AAA. You got Jordan Wicks in AAA. You got Colin Ray can start. I would rather see them let a guy go like they did with Imanaga today. Let him go get that last out in the 8th inning. Instead of needing 6 outs, you need 5 for the win. You limit the bullpen. He was in control in the game. He had the perfect stuff for Wrigley on a day like today. And then, the bullpen came in, and, 5 outs is a lot easier than if they got to get 9 outs, they got to get 12 outs. It becomes much more difficult. I think the Cubs can take advantage of all these starters that they have where, hey, maybe you skip somebody in the rotation every once in a while for a Colin Ray or for Wicks out of the minor leagues, or, Cade Horton, who we're going to get into here in a second. But, that's definitely, when I look at this, an area where I feel like the Cubs can take advantage of the way that their roster is set up. Show's brought to you by DraftKings. Use the promo code CBC for Cubs Baseball channel. I might still be wearing my winter layers, but the start of baseball season means spring is upon us. I've teamed up with DraftKings to bring the excitement to my fellow fans of one of America's most beloved games. Right now, they are offering all new customers $200 in bonus bets instantly after betting just $5. Download the DraftKings app now and sign up using our code CBC. Cubs Baseball Channel, CBC. The crown is yours. Stay in on all the action and use your $200 in bonus bets on DraftKings same-game parlays for a shot at even bigger payouts. Combine multiple bets together from the same game. Love the thrill of live betting? DraftKings has got you covered. Bet live on in-progress games right as they happen, making watching the game that much more exciting. If sports betting is not yet available in your state, don't worry. You can still join in on all the fun with DraftKings Pick 6 and have a shot to win cash prizes. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. New customers use our promo code CBC and bet just $5 on any wager and get $200 in bonus bets instantly. That's promo code CBC only at DraftKings Sportsbook. Shōta Imanaga was great on the mound, but they talk about baseball being won with pitching and defense. And I think that is what the Cubs illustrated opening day at Wrigley Field. And one of those guys who struggled at the plate but has seemingly not struggled at all, missed a beat, is center fielder Pete Crow-Armstrong. He made a catch, and they have the catch probability up against the wall at Wrigley. It was like 30%. Made a diving stop in the ninth inning. He didn't catch the ball, but he dove. He almost caught it, but he one-hopped it and kept the runners from being able to do a whole lot. He's an excellent defender. He is a weapon in center field. It's amazing to watch the way that he can use his speed and quickness, his anticipation to make plays, because he is just as quick as a cat out there. And he's making plays all over the field. So Pete Crow-Armstrong with the defense. But I thought the defense played well. Matt Shaw made some plays over at third base. One in the ninth inning that helped the Cubs. You know the middle infield's already good with Dansby Swanson and Nico Horner. Cubs have gotten some contributions from their catchers this year. So it was an all-around good win for the Cubs. But it's weird how, you look at the Padres lineup, how stacked it is. And today was walks at the plate, patience, got a couple breaks, and just Imanaga keeping them off balance, and Pete Crow-Armstrong and the defense going out there and taking runs away. So good win for the Cubs. They're 6-4 now on the season, and that puts them a half a game up. Now, maybe by the time you watch this, they're not a half game up anymore, but I'll tell you, it's been fun watching the way that this team's starting to come together a little bit and score some runs. Now, I still want to see them produce against the best pitchers on teams, the aces. When they're able to do that, that's going to help this team a whole lot when it comes to playing big games down the stretch. But not really an offensive type game like we saw in Sacramento against the A's, West Sacramento, and Arizona. But getting it done today, the way that you have to play baseball. And in baseball, you can't just outslug everybody. You might outslug them one game. You have to outpitch them another game. You got to win the pretty ones. You got to win the ugly ones. You got to win some blowouts. You're going to lose some games too. But great teams figure out how to do all those things. The other thing I got to tell you about the Cubs that I really, really love is the hustle. I've been a huge fan of players that beat those throws to second base. And it's like stealing. It's almost like an error. When you get those ground balls that should be a force at second and you're beating the throws like Seiya did. Cubs have done that a lot this year. We're only, not even 10 games in, but I love that this team's starting to show that its identity is going to be hustle. That they're going to be a hustling team, that they're going to go out there and play hard. And that's exciting as well. Now, I did want to say this because, let me put this up. This is the last thing. They walked 7 times in the game. People keep saying hits are as good as, or walks are as good as hits. That's all messed up there. Hits are better than walks is what that graphic is supposed to say. And they are. Hits are better than walks, but I'll take the walks too, right? if that's all you're getting, you don't want to swing at bad pitches. And if the pitchers aren't going to throw strikes, walking, taking those walks, getting on base is a big deal. And that's what the Cubs did. But I still feel like you know, don't wait for the walk. I think you got to be aggressive. You do a lot of damage when you put the ball in play. And I feel like at the Dodgers series and then in today's game, Cubs were a hit away from really breaking things open. They didn't get that hit. And it would be nice to see them start to do that. So I don't agree that hits are as good as walks. I think that they're both good, but I think hits are better. All right. Final thing here is before we talk about tomorrow's game is Cade Horton. And I may do a video on this, but don't be surprised if Cade Horton, the Cubs' #2 prospect, is in the big league soon. Right-hander, made his debut with Iowa, 3 1/3 shutout innings. You know it's coming, man. 1 hit, 6 strikeouts, did walk 4. I think that's part of it. He threw 59 pitches. But I'm telling you right now that when this guy's doing his thing, that he is a legitimate star. And the Cubs have one. He's just got to stay healthy, just continue to polish, his control and command. But he attacks hitters with fastballs. He's got an excellent slider. He told me the slider changed his career. His ability to throw that is just unbelievable because it's just a pitch that doesn't look like it's going to be a strike and then has a lot of late break to it. 97 miles an hour on, a dozen of his pitches, mostly 95. He sits there, but he's feeling better now. He's 23 years old and he's on the cusp. I think this is a guy to keep an eye on. And I think if he comes in and gets his feet under him, he would slot perfectly between Imanaga and Steele, break up that lefty at the top of the rotation. But I'll tell you what, the way that Tyone pitched last time out and what we saw from Boyd, I'm pretty confident that this starting rotation is has the potential to be really, really good this year. And that's an exciting thing. All right. The final thing is we talk about tomorrow's game when the Cubs are back at it again. Pitching matchup at Wrigley Field, another 120, 220 Eastern, 120 Central Time matchup in the friendly confines. Nick Pivetta, 1-0, and no earned runs allowed for the Padres against Matthew Boyd. No wins or losses and no earned run average yet for him. He hasn't allowed a run, but that will be at Wrigley. Cubs look to go back out there and get back in the W column again. Fly that flag would be great. And we'll be keeping an eye on that as well. But thanks for being here, guys. Again, get in the comment section. Let's talk about it. We got a pretty good start to the season, and it's kind of nice seeing some of the younger players contribute. You got the Tucker and Suzuki hit train really didn't make a difference in today's game, but it could tomorrow. And it's good to see this team figuring out a way to win without their most productive hitters not hitting home runs and stuff, just basically going out there. But they got a tough test the rest of the series against the Padres, who have some great pitching, and we'll see how the Cubs do against the Padres tomorrow. But anyway, thank you guys, and we'll do it again. And hopefully let's go ahead and what's this, 4 in a row now? Got a streak? Is that a streak? Not a bad way to bounce back after blowing that game on Sunday. Go Cubs.